I need to make a couple of things clear, because one thing you're not going to do is make assumptions about me based on information that I am reading in black and white about you. Okay? We're going to start with this. Dependent and addicted are one in the same technically by your definition. Your definition of dependency could be used interchangeably. Now, you wrote this to Scissor Tail Wrench, to the beautiful Robin. And I was sent this information, so I entered the chat. Okay? Follow me so far? Now, I do what I do, and I went and find the facts for you so that I wouldn't be talking out of my ass. I provided the links, and I found the links for information like on the NIH and the CDC, and lo and behold, one that literally starts with addiction and dependency are not the same, and it matters. So I posted that link for you to read. You ignored that. You decided to continue your tactics. And you decided to continue with this idea that we take our pain meds for the same reason. And that we are one group, again, on the Taylor tirade of all things. Now, after providing you with this information and me thinking that your comments were more and more ridiculous and laughing at that logic, not at you as a person or as an SUD patient, that logic, because you are typing in black and white things that make no sense, and I am providing you with facts showing that those don't make sense and the why. You decided to show this. Now, one thing we're not going to do when we're in the CPP community is weaponize our pain against each other. Now, granted, I don't know your condition and you don't know mine. Well, you do now because I told you my condition. But if you are having a flare, then you are more than welcome to not respond, or to respond and say that you're not feeling well right now, but that you'll answer later, or even to just move on. You saying that I am not going to argue with you because I'm in a flare, I'm sorry, that's a cop-out. We're all sick here. We're all sick here. You don't need to weaponize your pain against us. Stress affects a lot of us, and it causes more pain for a lot of us. You were perfectly fine to start the conversation, but the minute it came to the hard facts, suddenly you didn't want to argue. That's your choice, but don't make it out as if I'm the one having an issue because you're the one saying this, okay? I have no problem with the fact that people are in pain and cannot answer. What I have a problem is people using that as an excuse to why they're not going to answer. I would much rather you tell me that either, if it's the truth, that you'll talk later, that you'll answer when you're better, or just nothing at all, or tell me that you're not dealing with it and that's it. But you just don't want to answer. But to weaponize your pain, I think that's awful. Awful, because you're dealing with people, including Robin, Scissor Tail Wrench, as you know her. All of us are sick. All of us deal with pain on the daily. You started this conversation. You're the one who continued going, and you're the one who told me, what don't you understand? So I approached you and said, let's start with this. And I gave you the two comments that you made that seemed ludicrous to me. So I said, let's start with this, clarify this. You still ignored that. You still continued. And it went all the way to you telling me that you're not going to argue because you're in a flare. You asked me to tell you what I didn't understand because apparently I was not reading correctly. And when I did that, you decided to proceed to telling me that you were flaring and did not want to argue. That is the problem I have. Now, the other issue we're not going to do is to make it seem like I have a problem with SUD patients. Now, I have no problem with SUD patients, with CPPs who have SUD, none whatsoever. And I regularly advocate for them, both, not only electronically and over the phone, but in hospitals. So clearly you don't know me. And yes, I was laughing, but not at that. I was laughing at the fact that you just kept digging yourself more and more and were refusing to answer the questions that you asked me to tell you to clarify. That's what I was laughing at. So let's stay on target. Now, I hope that your flare is getting better. And please, you do not need to reply to this. And if you do, you don't need to reply until you're feeling better. Because one thing I don't want is you using this as an excuse for why your pain got worse. So, on that note, I hope you get better, and I hope you have a great day.